I think you're going to crush it this weekend because these are all you get, I don't know, Alabama plays. They're laying 28, but you got Michigan, Notre Dame in prime time, BYU, Arizona on ESPN, only game going on, and then the standalone games with Miami, LSU Sunday night and the Labor Day game. I think you're going to do a huge handle on those 4 games.
Yeah, and we already took a big parlay. We took a parlay of 2 biggest favorites on the board, Wisconsin and Ohio State.
No.
I think you bet $130,000 parlay. So
no, you too?
We got a little money. We got a little sweating going on.
Wait, were you guys offering money line on those games, or are we talking about laying like 38 and 35 points?
Yeah, laying 34.5 and 37.5 or whatever it was. So, yeah.
Oh, mama.
Got the same guy around town. That's crazy. Oh, laying that in the first week. That's bananas. You took a $130,000 parlay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's gamble. That's excellent. Are you glad that the priest...
Yeah, no,
Sorry, go ahead.
It's football season. People show up and do stuff, like that all the time. So it's I don't want to say it's standard operating procedure because obviously the normal bet's a lot lower, but yeah, you see this stuff all the time.
So that was $130,000, just to confirm here, and were the numbers Ohio State minus 38, Wisconsin minus 35-ish?
I think it was 34.5 and 38. But either way, it's a lot of touchdowns to overcome. That's for sure. But who knows? Early on, I mean, you can see. I mean, these games can early on. Who knows what the numbers are going to supposed to be? I mean, Colorado State was 17, they lose outright. So Wyoming was 4, they could have won by 40. So you just don't know. I mean, you really don't know what transpires over the course of the year. So he might win both these games by 70, or one could go to the wire, but we'll see.
All right, so other than the Duffel Bag Boy putting down $130,000 on that one parlay, what were some of the other biggest bets that you took, if you can share that with us?
Let's see. You know what? That was, his 130 parlay and then his to win 160 straight were the only 6-figure bets of the week. He's already back in action this week, so it's going to be a busy week. Obviously, this last week was great. Starting week 1 of college football had great matchups, so the handle was good. But this is the week where it gets going because of the NFL. The NFL is a completely different animal.
No doubt. Can you share with us what he's already on this week?
50-dime 3-teamer with Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Boise. I think it was 30.
Go ahead.
And then a $60,000 2-teamer with Oklahoma and Ohio State.
All right.
I don't know what to say. Yeah. This is my God. This is wild. Well, it's like laying 100 points.
I'm guessing it's going to be like this all year long.
Between the 3 of them, I think it added up to over 100. It was 36, 34, and 33. So, yeah, I was right there at 100 points. Maybe Wilt Chamberlain.
That's going to be his name. Oh, that's great.
So listeners just love it, and everyone loves the name Duffel Bag Boy, which I gave this guy. Now, did Duffel Bag Boy come in again and hit you early in the week? I guess you were tough.
Everyone loves the name. He came in a couple days ago. He did a 3-team parlay, 10,000. It was Ohio State, Boise, and Oklahoma. And then he did a 2-teamer of Ohio State and Oklahoma for another 10. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again between now and Saturday. He's lurking out there, the Duffel Bag Boy.
That's amazing.
So, and you love the name. Word has it you love the name Duffel Bag Boy.
I was on with Gil yesterday, Mitch. I was like, we really got to be able to come up with something better than Duffel Bag Boy. But then I think Paul heard me, because Paul texted me directly last night to tell me how great of a nickname he thought he had come up with Duffel Bag Boy.
Okay, I get it. Some people might think it's a little insulting. I think it's whimsical. What do you have that's better?
Well, it's a true story. Shows up with a duffel bag and fight. What, better Z? Better X? Oh God, I'm blown away.
I'm not great at nicknames. How about the Lopper? No, I don't know. How about Son of Dad? No, nicknames aren't my strong suit.
Oh,
Mitch.
yeah, you're strong.
I'll defer to
How about
Pauly.
how about we call him Todd Gack? How does that sound? Is that okay?
Gack. What is that, Dutch? That's fine. Todd Gack, that works.
How did Duffel Bag Boy do with all his parlays, and how much did he have straight, and has he been back already this week?
We had one of our larger customers. We beat him out of a 50-dime 3-teamer, a 60-dime 2-teamer, and then he had 100 straight on Oklahoma, which was a loser. 100 straight on the other team that lost as well. One of the big favorites, not Boise, the other one. So he lost all that, but he get out with a 100-dime 2-teamer, Baltimore and Rams. So he's back in action.
Was that on the money line or minus the points in those two games?
Minus the points, 100 to win 260.
Okay. Boy, on that Oklahoma game, he lost then across the board with that because he had that tied into the parlays and 100,000 on that game, and they're covering up 35, and UCLA scores on a 4th and 6.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, that one he had covered and got the old back door.
Has he sprinkled any of the winnings from the Baltimore and the Rams parlay back into action yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure that'll be coming today.
Duffel Bag Boy pay you a visit?
He did. Actually, he came in. He bet Indiana minus 16.5 against Rutgers to win $25,000. I think that was on Monday, guys. You know, one thing I've noticed about the Duffel Bag Boy, he really likes to fade Rutgers. I've noticed that over the last few years.
Jersey guy.
He's got a real Rutgers really in his crosshairs, guys. He likes to go against the Scarlet Knights. He did it again this week. Now, we hadn't seen him in our book the last couple of weeks. I don't think I've seen him, I think, going back 3 weeks since the last time I saw him.
Well, maybe it's enough with the parlays. You know, he had Buffalo, Minnesota. He was out early with the Vikings. He started got off to a good start. Buffalo again against Rutgers. But maybe I don't think there's been a parlay yet this week. It's been all straight bets.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you got a much better chance of winning a straight bet, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I mean, this guy, going back as long as I've seen his play, he's always mixed it up. He's done his straight bets. He's done his parlays. So I got a feeling he's got a parlay out there somewhere in mind. I'm sure he'll have something going on before we get to Saturday.
So he has Indiana minus 16.5, and he put enough to win $25,000 on it, is what you said.
Yeah, that's what he did at our book, Mitch.
Okay,
and then I'm sure he's lurking out there, and he'll probably strike somewhere else.
So let me ask you this then. You said you had not seen him in about 3 weeks. Does that mean that you actually did see him this week? Or he was spotted at the Westgate? Did he actually show up with a duffel bag is what I'm asking.
I don't know if he had an actual duffel bag. I wasn't there. I was told that he made that wager.
But he made the appearance. It wasn't on a phone?
Oh, no. He always comes in person.
Oh, there you go. All right. God, I got to hang out there. Yeah.
Yeah. You think it would be exciting to see the Duffel Bag Boy?
Are you kidding me? At this point,
yes.
yes.
Let you down.
It would make – why?
I don't know. No reason. But I just I know you're very
no reason.
I know you're very protective of the nickname Duffel Bag Boy, Mitch. So I'll try to.
It's a great
I'll
name.
let you know next time he services.
How about this, Nick? How often do you guys have kind of an under the radar game that you do really well on, or that absolutely clubs you over the head, like out of nowhere? The example here from the South Point, Timmy Fitzgerald was telling us yesterday. They couldn't get any bets on Louisiana Monroe to save their lives, and Georgia State went from an 8-point dog to like 6, and they won 46-14.
Yeah, that was all sharp money on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Hats off to them. A little bit of an aberration, the final score, but yeah, I mean, there was no question that there was sharp money for that side. But to answer your question is Rutgers, Indiana was our biggest decision of the week last week, and that was an under-the-radar game. We had a guy lay 16.5 and 17, so he had $200,000 on the favorite, Indiana. So that ended up being our biggest win on Saturday, and no one would ever guess that in a million years.
Was that the regular customer?
Yep.
Oh, my God. Is that the only thing he bet?
That's it.
$200,000. Was
well,
there
and a $90,000 parlay. So that was a really good game for us. Indiana Rutgers, a meaningless game in New Jersey on a Saturday morning, got us off to a start we wouldn't relinquish.
What was the parlay? Indiana and who?
Indiana and Michigan with the points, 90-dime parlay.
Holy Toledo! Wow.
When Indiana goes down, is there a high five in the office? Is there a pump?
No,
fist pump?
Everyone's Everyone's busy doing their own
All right.
thing, putting in scores, booking bets, eating Pop-Tarts. That's what we do on the weekends.
Oh, God. Has he been back yet this week?
No, he's not resurfaced, but he will. He's steady Eddie. I give him credit. He's got big ones.
Is he up or down this year? Not all time. How about just this year with you?
I believe we're ahead on the year, and he's ahead lifetime.
Still ahead lifetime. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. Excellent. Okay.
What about our friend who sometimes likes to bet with a duffel bag, sometimes doesn't? He's on the phone. He had a really good weekend, right?
So, yeah, he had 2 bets. He won them both, a $100,000 2-teamer and a $50,000 3-teamer. So I think if you add that up, that's 260 and 300. So you win 560 on 2 bets. That's pretty good. That's pretty good day's work.
Oh, my God. He did this. Who do you have for 100,000? Illinois and who?
Illinois and Fresno.
You're
Fresno
kidding.
minus 15. The game opened 11.
It opened 11. He laid 15.
And then a third team he threw in was Wazoo minus 17.5 or whatever they were against the lowly Beavers.
He had $100,000 on a 2-team parlay.
Yep.
Has he bet yet this week?
No, he's not. He has not showed up yet.
Huh.
All right. He did the same thing at the MGM, too, but for not as much money. That is wild.
I love the weekly updates.
Texas if he comes back. What would you take? If he wants to bet a $300,000 parlay, you take it, right?
It depends. I mean, it just depends. It really does. I mean, he'll try to win as much as he humanly can. I mean, we stick our neck out pretty good for him. I mean,
yeah.
You know, if he wins on a week, he could easily beat us for 7 figures. But you know, we've done a lot of business with him over the years. He's a good customer, and we try to bend over as much as we can for him. So. But yeah, no, he's definitely a good valued customer.
Yeah, the way it sounds. Well, to Paul's point, if he wants to bet even more on a parlay and he's betting into really bad numbers when a game opens at 11 and Nicky's telling you, give me 15, I don't care, you got to be like, okay, no problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, but when he bet the parlay it was 15. I mean, he can't, you know, you never can predict which way these numbers are going. I mean, obviously, Nevada had a quarterback issue and it, you know, went up on news. I mean, but yeah, no, there's no question he likes to bet the favorites more than the underdogs. Let's put it that way.
Well, that answers that question. He's dancing all over town because he wants more. But he doesn't care what the line is.
No, not at all.
I know it was, you know, because of the quarterback, but it goes up to 15, whatever. Got to 16.5. They win by 18. So he goes to the MGM in the morning, and he has $100,000 on Illinois winner, $10,000 4-teamer, winner, and a $50,000 2-teamer, and that hits, and then he wins $500,000 at William Hill. I mean, how much?
He's going to have weekends like that, Paul. I mean, it's just the variance here is going to be off the charts with
But you have to. I'm with you though. You make if you have to, you call upstairs. If this guy wants to bet a $300,000 2-3 teamer and he's going to lay horrible numbers,
and he's late to the party, getting
you got to do
numbers.
it. You got to take it.
Mm-hmm. That's startling. I have to meet this guy. It is my mission to meet this guy somehow. Somebody, Nick, Murray, anybody, please send out an SOS when you see this guy come into a book next time.
So he had a bunch of
I'll tell you what.
He had a $50,000 2-teamer, a $50,000 3-teamer, a $100,000 straight bet, a $10,000 4-teamer, and a $100,000 2-teamer.
2-teamer, yeah.
No wonder why he's up lifetime over there. Just took him for $500,000. Now it's really on. Now it's on like Donkey Kong.
Sure, it sure is.
Because now he has more ammo. So now...
Which is good. I want to keep hearing about these bets.
Now he's going to be all over. He's going to be on every place this week because now he's got to keep... He's hot. He's on fire. He's feeling good. Who are the big favorites?
Sir, if you happen to listen, if you happen to be, maybe tune in to VSiN. Hold on, let me say this real quick. You are a dream guest of mine.
There it is. Pass it on. I
would say that this guy, who you labeled Duffel Bag Boy,
I came up with the name.
I cannot think of another gambling. There are some. This guy's at the top of the list.
You want to talk to this guy?
You don't?
Yeah, well,
of course.
Well, what's the list?
Unless he's a terrible talker. I mean, I'd love to
could be a lunatic.
I'd love to get Bill Zarian.
Well, I get Dan Bilzerian's another one. I get Phil Ivey too. How many bets did our friend make?
Just one.
Just Army?
Just Army.
How about that? 260,000 all over town on Army. 52
down 3-0. Oh boy, here we go.
Right. It was 14-3 at the half.
I know.
Still a sweat. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
That team gets rolling with that option.
Oh, forget about it. You can't
They're
stop
just running downhill. It's just like a flood. Can't stop it.
Yeah.
So now he's up over $1 million in the last 8 days. I imagine he's going to be right back and dancing all over town.
Of course. Why would you stop?
Yes, feeling good.
Who's Rutgers play this week?
Right there.
He didn't have Maryland, though.
I know.
What an upset. Like the first time in 2 years, right?
Right?
He always bets against Rutgers.
Yeah. Laying a big number, too. You
Got
think
killed.
he would have fell in love with that. But I know. Rutgers play this week?
Duffel Bag Boy was there.
Yeah, the DBB. He bet Army minus 14.5 for 30,000. That was the only play he made with us this week. It was an easy winner for him. You know, I looked in his account on Saturday night. He's only down a little bit this season with us.
He had 260,000 of at least we know on Army, and he wins 52-3. What a feeling that is.
That was a good pick. You know, we had a sharp group come in Friday night, and I think they laid 15.5 on Army. So there was some sharp money that
After
came
he
in
hit it,
on
huh?
Army
Okay.
as well.
Yeah,
after he played it.
Define Duffel Bag Boy being down, quote, a little bit.
Less than 5 figures. How about that?
Okay, that's fair.
It's not a large amount at all. You know, he, at least with us, he mostly makes straight bets, and he's really just he wins some, he loses some. He's not really doing too bad with us.
And it's a quick pop in. That's it, huh? From him.
Yeah, I mean, he just comes in, makes his bet, and leaves. He's not somebody to linger in the book. I've certainly never seen him watching games in the book. He's in and he's out.
Does he ever ask for you or Jeff or Ed or Jay to say hello or anything like that?
I don't think he asks to say hello to me, but he's asked for me before just to talk about the limits he can get on a game. No social calls, Mitch. Just all the Duffel Bag Boy is all business.
I didn't figure he was calling you behind the scenes saying, "Hey, John Boy, let's get a beer. Come on Friday night."
No. He's asked for me before. He wants to ask me how much he can bet on this or that, and anytime he asks for me if I'm there, I'll certainly go out there and talk to him.
You know what Mitch said last week? That's on his bucket list, like top 5 people he wants to interview. Your thoughts?
Top 5 people in like sports betting, or top 5 people in like the world?
No, yeah, for this show on this network, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on the right now. I'm talking right now, real time. He's on the list. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if he'd be that great of a radio guest. I don't know, but I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I'm sure the listeners would love to hear from him. I know he's gotten a lot of run in the media this season.
Oh, huge. I picked up.
Sure.
I got a Twitter went crazy when I tweeted that Friday about how much he had on Army and that he was up over $1 million. I need you to text me every week, Duffel Bag Boy, the big player you have there. This is something, man. People can't get enough of this story. How did he do this past week with you, and has he been back early on firing away?
No, he hasn't been back well this week. I mean, there was only one day. He won a straight bet for $100,000, a 3-teamer for $180,000, and he lost a $20,000 4-teamer live to the Chargers. So we had 3 in going to that. So I guess he won $260 for the week.
So that's back-to-back weekends.
How would you like to make $260 in a 48-hour period bet? That would be nice.
Yeah, no kidding. I ran the numbers. The guy's up over $2 million in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I give him credit because he has the onions to bet. I mean, it's, you know, anyone who walks to the window and bets that kind of money, you got to tip your hat to him. I mean, hopefully we figure to beat him long term, that's for sure. But I guess about 3 years in now, he's ahead of us. So we'll see. It's a good thing it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's one of the crazy things about the story this past weekend, Nick, is that he laid it with Central Florida, and nobody knew that McKenzie Milton was not going to start, let alone play in the game whatsoever. The broadcasters on TV had no idea that Milton was going to miss the game.
East Carolina, he picked one of the worst beats of all time, which is East Carolina.
Yep.
I mean, he's laying 21.5. The game's on 13. They're going in to put it on 6 late. I mean, late second half. They fumble, run at 99 yards. Now it's on 20. They go. East Carolina's moving the ball again. They turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
Next play, they break it 65 yards. Now he's covering, but East Carolina goes down to 1st and goal to 2 in a game where they got 500 yards.
Yep.
And I mean, they're a big favorite to score 1st and goal from the 2. when you've already gotten 500 yards, that means you're moving it pretty easily. They don't get in either. So East Carolina had turned it over 5 times, had 500 yards, and couldn't cover 21.5 with the All-American quarterback out.
You believe that you nailed it?
That was a very, very lucky win.